What's going on, guys? I'm Andrew.
I'm Jason.
And this is Movie Source.
Today we're going to be talking about our top 10 most anticipated movies for 2016.
Okay, so unfortunately in all top 10 lists, we couldn't put a bunch of movies that we did want to put in this list, but however, we did put a few honorable mentions, and also, even beyond the honorable mentions, there are a few others that we couldn't get to, but too many for this list, unfortunately. So, first honorable mention I want to get to is Bourne 5. Paul Greengrass and Matt Damon are coming back. Can't wait to see what they do with that film.
Yeah, we got Star Trek.
Star Trek Beyond. Justin Lin is directing this one. We got the whole crew coming back. Very interested to see that one as well. I'm excited to see. Then also, we got Finding Dory, the sequel to Finding Nemo. I've been waiting forever, since 2003 rather, for that film, so I can't wait to get back into that world again.
Yeah. Secret Life of Pets.
Oh, the trailer for me sold it. That really looks so convincing, and also, it's just such a great concept.
Yeah.
So, and also, for me, one I'm really looking forward to is Zootopia. The makers of this film are the guys who did Big Hero 6 and also Wreck-It Ralph, 2 films I loved so much, so they're on a great streak. I can't wait to see if Third Time's a Charm as well, so going to be interesting to see.
And then also Ghostbusters, the female version.
Yeah, that's being directed by Paul Feig, the director of Bridesmaids. He's definitely got a good take on women's films, so it's going to be interesting to see his take on this, and also it's going to be cool to see the original cast doing a bunch of cameos in this film. Very cool to see. Number 10. So at number 10, we got The Founder with Michael Keaton starring as Roy Kroc. He's playing the founder of McDonald's, and the director is a director I really enjoyed. John Lee Hancock did 2 films. I love Blindside in 2009. Also, he did The Rookie in 2002. I love those films. They hit a lot of deep spots in my heart. Obviously, I'm a big sports guy, so those are films I really enjoyed. Michael Keaton's one of my favorite actors all the way from Batman and Beetlejuice, and most recently one of my all-time favorite films, Birdman. I can't. I'm very excited. Just any movie he does, I'm excited. But I'm very curious to see what he does in this role as the founder of McDonald's. I'm curious to see how basically the society of obesity that has been created around us with fast food. I'm excited to see how this got launched. And I think Michael Keaton is the guy to do it.
Number 9. Alright, so at number 9 we got Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. This is going to be, not part of the Harry Potter series, but in the same universe.
Right, set 70 years before the first Harry Potter film. And also they got David Yates coming back. He directed Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2. So he knows this universe. He understands the lore. So I'm very happy, at least I'm trustworthy in the fact that he's coming back. I wasn't completely sold, or we're doing a quick trailer review. I wasn't completely sold on that trailer, but again, we're a full year away from this film. I'm not too worried yet, but I'm very interested to go back into that magical universe.
The trailer for me didn't really do it for me, so this movie is kind of banking on the Harry Potter universe, to gain some steam.
Absolutely, completely agree. Number 8. All right, so number 8, this is a film I'm really excited for. We got The Jungle Book.
The Jungle Book looks great.
Yeah, and also, not to confuse people, there is a different version coming out in 2017. That is Andy Serkis's version. This one we're talking about is Jon Favreau's version, the director of Iron Man 1 and 2, Cowboys and Aliens. He also directed Zathura, also Elf. So I'm very curious. We got
huge cast.
Yeah, huge cast. You got Scarlett Johansson as
Idris Elba,
Bill Murray as Baloo. You have Ben Kingsley as
Bill Murray.
No. That's Ben Kingsley's doing Bagheera, I believe.
Bagheera.
Yeah, Bagheera.
And Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. I believe we just said that Bill Murray is Baloo. I mean, the cast, and Lupita Nyong'o. I'm not sure who she's playing exactly. I gotta look that up. And then Christopher Walken is King Louie.
Yep.
I can't wait to hear that.
Yep.
So you got an amazing cast of voice actors. That kid, for me in the trailer, again, I haven't seen the film, but he looks like Mowgli from the animated series.
He does.
Or the animated movie, rather. So, and the craziest part of this, watch the trailer, that whole thing, all that CGI, that whole entire sequence and trailer, the whole movie is shot in LA on a soundstage. It looks like they're in the jungle shooting that film.
It does.
It's incredible.
CGI's come a long way.
It really has since Star Wars, the prequels.
Now let's just hope they make a good movie.
Right. No, I'm very excited for this. I think this could be possibly a stepping stone for Jon Favreau, maybe to go to Star Wars at some point, but coming back to this, I'm very excited to...
It's a pretty big jump.
Yeah, it would be. But I'm looking very forward to seeing Jon Favreau's take on the Jungle Book. The trailer sold it for me, and I cannot wait to see this film.
Number 7. All right, so at number 7 we have XMen Apocalypse. We had already done a trailer review for this movie. You know our thoughts on that. I think this movie looks pretty great.
Yeah, no, again, the trailer for me was pretty awesome. Also, the fact you got Bryan Singer returning after Days of Future Past, my personal favorite X-Men film. I'm very curious to see the story develop more.
Just continuing of the X-Men story.
I've been waiting to see Apocalypse since I watched the animated series as a little kid. That's my second favorite animated series behind Batman. Rather, my third favorite animated series behind Spider-Man and Batman, the animated series. 2 amazing animated series, may I add. So I've been wanting to see Apocalypse on screen for a very long time, and the fact that we love the actors who play these characters already, in regards to...
Yeah, we've seen these guys in a few movies already. They've kind of built up their...
From First Class and Days of Future Past. So I'm invested in these actors as these characters. I want to see the story continue. Number 6.
Who wants tacos?
Not chimichangas?
How about both?
Okay, sounds good. Well, number 6, we're very excited. I'm very excited for Deadpool.
Yes.
I can't wait. I mean, ever since they basically sewed his mouth shut and completely just ridiculously messed up the character in X-Men Origins Wolverine, I've been wanting to see this character done right with justice.
Especially in his own movie.
Yeah, and Ryan Reynolds is the perfect man for this role. Also, you got T.J. Miller as Weasel. I think the banter between those two, just from the trailers... Those scenes to me alone are going to just sell it for me. Obviously, the action looks incredible.
And I think this is going to be a different kind of superhero movie. It's just going to be even more of a straight comedy than just a comic book film.
Yeah, and also yes, I'm sorry, but also they did allude to that in the last recent trailer. They said this is not your typical superhero film. So the humor looks great, and you got Tim Miller directing. I'm not really sure of his filmography, but Ryan Reynolds trusts him, the studio trusts him, and the film looks incredible. I can't wait to see it.
And you got the fact that they've already incorporated the X-Men into it.
Yes, no, very true. You have Colossus in that trailer, basically where Deadpool confirms the X-Men are in this universe. It's going to be cool to see some tie together, even though right now in the X-Men universe, we're kind of in the 80s. And in Deadpool, he told Negasomic's, he told the Negasonic super teenage girl, he did say to her, go ahead, finish your tweet. So that implies to me
it's in current day.
We're implying that we're in 2015 or it's current day, as you just said. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they tie with the X-Men because again, Colossus is an X-Men as we saw. So but the X-Men films are in the 80s, so it's gonna be.
So they're just farther back in the time.
Yeah, no, it's just gonna be cool. It's gonna be curious to see how they do that. But I can't wait for this film. It looks super fun and super funny.
Number 5. All right, so at number 5 we have Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad is going to be, about DC villains sort of teaming up together and sort of,
It's Batman's rogue gallery. Basically, if you want to understand this film, watch the animated film Batman Assault on Arkham Asylum. Great animated movie. Yes, Batman's in it, but it's more about, the Arkham Asylum inmates. You get a much more piece of an understanding of what this film's going to be about. The film's going to be directed by David Ayer. He did Fury and Sabotage. 2 films I really enjoyed. So I'm very curious his take. He's got a very violent take on films, which I think is perfect for this kind of film. Also, the fact this is the first time Batman is ever in a movie that doesn't have Batman or the Dark Knight in the title.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
I'm just curious about that. That's going to be cool.
It's going to be cool to see from the perspective of the villains. You're really seeing it through their eyes, and then you see Batman from their perspective, not from his perspective.
I personally don't expect more than 20 minutes at the most of Batman in this film. At the most, if he's even in it that much.
It's supposed to be more of a cameo.
But we've already seen in the trailer he's on the top of that purple Lamborghini or Joker's car, which the scene looks awesome. So I just can't wait to see Batman in a film that's not about Batman, of course. Also, we got Will Smith in it, Margot Robbie, and Jared Leto as the Joker. I can't wait to see, in our new version of the Joker. Obviously, I don't want to compare to Heath Ledger, but it's going to be interesting to see his take on it because
be different.
Yeah, it's just like Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger. They're both amazing and different in their own right. Number 4. All right, so number 4, we got a movie I'm really curious to see because Marvel hasn't had too many flubs yet. So Doctor Strange. The film is being directed by Scott Derrickson. He did Sinister back in 2012, I believe. Just from the pictures we've seen on this film, Benedict Cumberbatch.
He looks like the perfect fit for this role.
Forget that he's an amazing actor. He just the set photos I saw of him today, he looks like Doctor Strange.
Pulls it off.
I can't wait. Just without even any words, he's Doctor Strange to me. I can't wait to see this. Also, by the way, I highly recommend on Netflix. I hope they haven't taken it off yet. I saw it about a month or two ago. There's an animated movie on Doctor Strange. If any of you guys want to, understand and learn the mythology a little bit about that character, great animated movie. I believe it's about an hour and 15 minutes long or so. Not very long. But it gets into basically the origins of Doctor Strange, and it helps you understand this guy's a dick until he loses the ability, until he uses his greatest tools, his hands. So watch that animated film. You'll understand a little more of the backstory of the character, but I can't wait to see this film. I'm super stoked.
I'm also excited to see the villain of this movie played by, I forget his name.
Chiwetel Ejiofor is playing Baron Mordo, I believe, and then you got Mads Mikkelsen.
Yes,
I believe
Mads
he's
Mikkelsen.
playing the main villain. I'm not exactly sure which villain he's playing yet. It hasn't really been confirmed. But he is amazing actor. Casino Royale, so menacing. He's amazing as Hannibal. And he's also coming up in a movie that might be in our top 10 list here soon. Star Wars? I don't know. Maybe Star Wars? Just saying. So Mads Mikkelsen, he's just a menacing villain. I can't wait to see the banter between him and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Number 3. Alright guys, so at number 3 we have Captain America Civil War. This is going to be a huge movie, and I'm hoping what Avengers 2 should have been. Just a big Marvel movie with a lot of characters and a lot of action.
Right, well, I'm not going to go into what should have been Avengers. I mean, I did enjoy Avengers Age of Ultron, but obviously I'm super stoked and pumped to see Captain America Civil War. Captain America Winter Soldier for me was by far my favorite Marvel film so far. The Russo brothers, again, these guys come from a comedy background. They did Community, and then they also did You, Me, and Dupree. Mm-hmm. So when I had heard that they were directing Captain America the Winter Soldier, I was a little skeptical at first. I was like, these guys are directing?
This movie was not funny.
No, I was like, I like you. No, I said, You, Me, and Dupree was okay, but I don't know if I see them doing Captain America. Damn. Oh, it's my favorite Marvel film up to date. I'm hoping Civil War can be around as good, if not better. But you've got so many things that just look so epic from that first trailer alone. Just with all the characters, we're going to see Spider-Man in this. We're going to see Black Panther for the first time on screen. I'm super stoked about that. There's not enough to say Baron Zemo as the villain. There's just going to be so many things we've never seen before. And again, the Russo brothers have been given the keys to the kingdom. After this film, they're directing Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and 2. So they've got to kill this film. Just to give us more credibility and more confidence in them that they're going to deliver an amazing film for Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and 2, because that's not going to be easy. So if they don't if this film is not or is not very good, I'm not saying I'm going to be overly worried about Avengers Infinity War, but if they can't deal with these two teams going against each other, how are they going to deal with that massive dealing with Thanos? That's going to be even more characters.
Well, yeah, that's going to be
now
the final fights at
also,
the end.
you're going to be combining the Guardians. If you can't deal with these two teams, it's going to be hard. Captain Marvel, you're going to be adding. I think
they'll do a good job.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried at all. The trailer looks epic. It looks amazing. I can't wait to see this. Again, Winter Soldier is by far my favorite, so this is by far the Marvel film I've been waiting for since Winter Soldier. Number 2. Alright, so on our number 2, this was kind of hard for us. We kind of debated 1 and 2. It really kind of went back and forth. We're very excited to see either one, obviously. Star Wars, or rather Rogue One, a Star Wars story, even though I'm not going to ever call it that. It's a dumb name. Star Wars Rogue One is what I'm going to call it. Basically, this film is not the sequel to Star Wars Episode 7. This film takes place in between Episodes 3 and 4. If you remember at the start of Episode 4, A New Hope, the first film from 1977, we see that the rebels are flying away from a Star Destroyer. And then they get sucked into the Star Destroyer, and Leia puts the Death Star plans into R2D2, and then he gets sent down to Tatooine. And the whole film is about getting those Death Star plans. This film, Rogue One, is about the rebels stealing those Death Star plans. I'm intrigued. It's very interesting. Also a little bit ballsy on Disney, because the general movie-going audience is expecting a sequel to Episode 7 for the most part, and they're going to be getting this. So it's going to be interesting, their marketing. How are they going to let people... Because again, you and I and most of the audience watching this, we know it's in between Episodes 3 and 4. But the main going audience does not. They're gonna expect, oh, it's the next Star Wars movie. I can't wait to see. Wait, who are these guys? Where's Rey? Who are these guys?
Well, I'm sure from trailers they're gonna see it's not the same movie.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I just said I can't wait to see the marketing for this film. As if I wasn't a Star Wars fan, I'm curious to see how they're gonna market towards those kind of fans, to make them understand this is in between 3 and 4. This, even though it's set in the same universe, kind of like Fantastic Beasts Somewhere to Find Them. It's like 70 years or so in the past. So it's going to be, again, I can't wait to see how they market towards the non-Star Wars fan, the normal movie-going general audience person.
Number 1! Alright, so number 1, you might be able to guess it, is Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Take us away.
Alright, so me personally, before I even get into this, I've been waiting for this film since I ever got an understanding of The Dark Knight Returns, Superman and Batman fighting. Then I got to watch the animated series where we got to see Batman vs Superman in a Lex Luthor Joker episode where they were going at it. Ever since those points, I've wanted to see Batman vs Superman on the live screen. So that's why this has to be my number 1 pick. And on this basically is kind of like a sequel to Man of Steel. You got Zack Snyder returning. Henry Cavill is back as Superman. Ben Affleck is now Batman. Obviously, this is not connected anymore to the Christopher Nolan universe, even though Christopher Nolan is a producer on this. Chris Terrio, the writer of Argo, one of my favorite films, is writing this film. Really got me excited that he's writing this film because I love Argo. It's going to be cool to see his take on this. I mean, from the trailers alone, other than the last 30 seconds of the last trailer, and it didn't get me concerned about the movie. I just feel they didn't need to show what they showed, because obviously for me, it's the movie's already sold. I get it was for the movie going audience, but I've been waiting for this movie for decades. I can't wait for your birthday, or rather March 25th. I am super excited. I will see this movie probably 3 or 4 times, even if it's the worst piece of crap ever. I've been waiting for Batman v Superman for a long time.
Well, you're finally going to get your chance to see it. It's coming out in a couple months.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. As I mentioned many times in the past minute of how excited I am to see Batman v Superman, I'm also excited to see the DC universe expand more, because again, at the tail end of this film,
we're going to see a lot of DC characters.
Yeah,
in
it's
this
called
movie.
It's called Dawn of Justice. I want to, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be right. It's going to be interesting to see where they, because we've never seen the Flash on the big screen. We've only seen him on the small screen, the TV show, which is an amazing show, by the way. We've never seen Cyborg on the big screen. We've never seen Aquaman other than in Entourage, where James Cameron and Vinny Chase took that character. We've never seen Wonder Woman on the big screen. It's going to be, Warner Brothers is all in right now with this DC universe. So
well, they've seen the success of Marvel, and they know that, it can carry,
and X-Men.
It's going to be different, which is, which is still Marvel. But.
Yeah, of course. But this movie has to be good, or the DC universe, it's going to end before it even starts, to me, basically. This is a big movie for the DC universe. It has to be good, set that pace and tone ready for Suicide Squad, and then boom, right into Justice League or Wonder Woman, whichever film comes out after that. But it's got to start right here with Batman v Superman, because I really enjoyed Man of Steel personally. So I want to see this expand and take us to new and low and dark places that we've never been to. So I'm very, very interested and curious for this film.
It's also going to set the tone of kind of how these DC movies are going to be. Whatever tone this movie takes, I feel like is going to be the underlying theme with the DC movies.
I think it's kind of obvious that DC's more of darker kind of movies, and Marvel's more of the lighter tone, more
comedy,
comedy-ish route. Even though there's obviously a lot of, if you watch Captain America: Winter Soldier, you're not going to think of a comedy. But there are obviously more darker tones and themes a little bit, and obviously they're just shot much more dark, in the DC universe. So. No, definitely going to be interesting. And I don't want it to be the same kind of tones. And I'm glad that there's diversity and they're different, in terms of tone.
I don't want to have the same thing on 2 different sides.
I agree.
want it to be different.
I want it to be different too. So it's going to be cool to have Marvel, DC, and then you got your 20th Century Fox Marvel. So we got 3 different universes.
So it'll definitely be interesting to see, and it's going to be a great year for movies. No doubt about that.
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see if 2016 can be topped, even for just comic book films in general, but just film. There's just so many amazing films coming out as in other years, but I feel like this is one of the greatest years, not just comic books, just movies in general. There's so many amazing films coming out, and we're going to be reviewing a bunch of them for you.
So stay tuned. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for this video. Please let us know in the comments what your top 10 list is, or if there's any movies that we didn't have in our list that you wanted to hear about, let us know. And if you want to see more videos like this one, you can hit the subscribe button.
See you guys next time.